I know you wrestled for Brian and All Star Wrestling for many, many years, James. Knew the gent very, very well. Could consider him a very good friend. But what will the passing of Brian Dixon mean to you, my friend?
The end of the biggest part of my wrestling life, basically. I mean, I'm hoping I've still got a few more years left in wrestling. But it's been 30 years now, and 25 of them was completely and utterly full-time for All Star.
Wow.
For a 25-year period, I spent more time with Brian than my family. Wrestlers would come and go, but I stayed. I can't thank him enough for giving me the opportunities he did. I read some real nice comments last week online, and you know what? A lot of the comments were basically saying, and it really touched me, Brian Dixon allowed people to live out their dreams, basically. If that makes sense. My dream was to be a wrestler, and there was thousands of people who had a dream of being a wrestler, and you could wrestle for all different people, but when you wrestled for All Star, for Brian Dixon, regardless of pay, regardless of how you travelled there, regardless of anything else, for that 10, 20 minutes in that ring, I was in the prestigious venues on with the absolute best opponents, and I was someone. Does that make sense? And he allowed me to live out my dream for 30 years, and I'm still living out my dream, and I owe everything to him. And there's some great memories, great times. I had things in my head I wanted to say, and then when it's coming to it, it's not as easy to say stuff. And we've got the funeral this week, which I'm really hoping and praying that it's a huge celebration of his life on Friday. Some great people are going. I've heard some of the names that are coming, and I think it's going to be an amazing turnout, and I want it to be an absolute celebration of his life.
Yeah, absolutely. But any fond memories or fun stories of being around Brian and the boys?
I mean,
anyone that stands out?
I mean, there's countless, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this. I just remember with Brian, you could be in his company, and he'd come up with an idea of a match or something, and it was ridiculous. Like, why on earth would you be thinking the biggest promoter that I've ever been around, the biggest company in Europe, and this is what he's coming up with, this idea of this match? You think, oh my God, this is never going to work. And then you'd sort of be saying, Brian, I'm going to do it, but I don't want to do this. I do not feel comfortable doing this. And then you do it, and it actually worked. And it was like, fair play, Brian. He had a bit of an eye for things. He would come up with some ideas. And I mean, it's not really a funny story, but I just remember, and the last time I actually saw him was in Telford, only a few months ago. A couple of months ago, it's fair. And he did exactly that. He put me, and I can't say the full match because it was, I might have been dressed up as somebody else, so I don't want to get out any rumours, but, and it was a match this match should never have happened. Like, why would you put this match on paper? The bill was superb. The wrestlers there was out as well. And he put a tag on there. And I thought, this guy's got a sense of humour. I went and spoke to him, and he was having none of it. And he basically just said, go make the best of it. He always called me kid, even now I'm 43. He was always kid. Go just make it work. Go make the best of it. Go do it. And somehow we did, and the match was good. And I just went away driving on that night, sort of really entertained by. And obviously that was the last time I saw him, which is really sad. But I'm just glad I've got a memory like that where I went out there all guns blazing. Brian, I'm not doing this. This match is going to be awful. Why on earth are we doing this match? And it actually worked. And I wish I should have gone out late in the night, shook him in the hand, and said, "Yeah, cheers, Brian. That was a good idea." So I mean, there's other guys could give you 1,000,001 fun stories.
I'm sure.
And again, it's not my thing really, but just some great times. Some times when he pulls some strokes, and I was like, wow, I can't believe he's doing this to me. But ultimately, for that amount of time, and I've always had a job. I've never had to get a real job. I say real job, wrestling is a real job, obviously, but I've always been a wrestler. That's all I've ever done. I've never had to go and get another job. I've provided for my family. I'm living okay, and it's really been down to that, man. I mean, I've gone out and done other stuff on my own, but ultimately, that's always been my bread and butter. So
absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He will be missed for sure.